The steady beep of the alarm woke Officer Ben Miller from his half-sleep at the monitoring station. He blinked twice, making sure he wasn't dreaming. The energy reading was unlike anything he had seen before. "Control, this is Deep Space Station 7. We have an unusual energy signature at the edge of the solar system," Ben said, his voice more awake now. Within hours, the news reached Captain James Walker of the UES Horizon, Earth's most advanced rescue and exploration vessel. His ship, already in orbit, received new orders. "All crew to stations," Walker announced over the ship's comm system. "We are moving to investigate an unknown energy signature. This is not a drill." The Horizon's engines hummed to life as it broke orbit. The crew of 60 humans, scientists, engineers, and space rescue experts prepared for the unknown. Walker stood on the bridge, his tall frame straight, and his eyes fixed on the main screen. 3 days later, the Horizon reached the outer edge of the solar system. What they found there made even the most experienced crew members gasp. "My God," whispered First Officer Lisa Park as she stared at the view screen. Hundreds of massive ships drifted silently in space. Their strange, curved designs looked nothing like human vessels. Most importantly, they showed almost no power signatures. They were dead in space. "Life signs?" Walker asked, his voice calm despite the discovery. "Thousands, sir," replied Medical Officer Dr. Mike Reed. "But many are weak. Whatever these beings are, they're in trouble." Walker made his decision quickly. Approach the largest vessel. "Let's try to talk to them." The Horizon moved carefully toward what looked like the alien fleet's command ship. The communications team sent basic greeting messages in all formats. After an hour of trying, the main screen flickered. A face appeared, clearly not human. The alien had blue-gray skin, 4 eyes arranged in a diamond pattern, and no visible nose. When it spoke, the ship's computer worked to translate. "This is Commander Trell of the Viridian Fleet," the alien said slowly. "We thank you for answering our distress signal." Walker stepped forward. "I am Captain James Walker of the United Earth Ship Horizon. We detected your energy signature and came to investigate. How can we help you?" The alien's 4 eyes blinked in sequence. "Our fleet has lost power. Life support failing. Many already lost." Walker nodded grimly. "How many ships? How many of your people?" 300 ships. 20,000 souls remaining," Trell replied. "We fled. Our dying star system, our main drive crystals, failed during journey. No way to repair." Chief Engineer Anna Davis spoke up from her station. "Captain, I'm getting readings on their technology. It's advanced, but very different from ours. They use some kind of crystalline energy source we've never seen before." Walker turned back to the screen. "Commander Trell, with your permission, we'd like to send a team to your ship to better understand your situation." The alien seemed to hesitate. "Your atmosphere will work for us. Ours may harm you. We have suits and protocols for this exact situation," Walker assured him. "My people are trained for first contact and rescue operations." After a moment, Trell nodded. "We accept your help. We have been drifting for 3 months. Life support will fail completely in 2 more." Walker turned to his crew. "Prepare a boarding team. Engineering, medical, and first contact specialists. I'll lead personally." As the team prepared, Davis approached Walker privately. "Captain, this goes beyond anything we've trained for. Their tech is like nothing in our database." Walker looked at the massive alien fleet on the screen. 20,000 lives hanging in the balance. "Then we'll have to improvise, Anna," he said firmly. "That's what humans do best." An hour later, Walker led his team toward the airlock in their environmental suits. Earth had sent approval for first contact procedures, though many officials voiced caution. As the airlock doors opened to the alien ship, Walker took the first step into history. The rescue of the Viridian Fleet had begun, And with it, humanity's greatest challenge yet. Chief Engineer Anna Davis stared at the alien engine room with wide eyes. She had never seen anything like it. The main power chamber of the Viridian command ship was huge, with glowing blue crystals arranged in complex patterns. "These crystals," she said, running her scanner over them, "they're the heart of your power system." Trell nodded, the movement stiff and formal. "Yes. The drive crystals channel energy from what you might call a pocket dimension." Anna whistled. This was far beyond Earth technology. Yet these advanced aliens were stuck in space, unable to fix their own ships. "And what happened to them?" she asked. "During our escape, we pushed them beyond safe limits," Trell explained. "The crystal matrix destabilized. The damage is beyond our ability to repair." Back on the horizon, Anna reported to Captain Walker and the team. "Their technology is amazing," she said, "but also very rigid. The Viridians build perfect systems, but when something breaks in a way they didn't plan for, they don't know how to fix it." Walker nodded. "Can we help them?" Anna ran her hand through her short red hair. "Maybe. Their crystals tap energy in a way we don't understand, but our fusion reactors might be able to jump-start their systems." "Might?" asked First Officer Park. "It's like trying to charge a quantum computer with a car battery," Anna explained. "But humans are good at making things work that shouldn't." Walker made his decision. "Get whatever you need. And contact Earth. We need their best scientists on this." Over the next 5 days, Anna led a team of human engineers working alongside the Viridian technicians. The aliens watched with confusion as the humans tried approach after approach, failing but learning each time. "Why do you keep trying things that do not work?" asked Ren, the Viridian chief technician. His 4 eyes blinked in a pattern that Anna had learned meant confusion. Anna smiled as she rewired a connector. "Because each failure tells us something new. That's how humans solve problems." The Viridians found this strange. In their culture, you design things perfectly the first time, or not at all. Meanwhile, Earth had sent urgent transmissions with ideas from the planet's top scientists. A special quantum communication channel let them share data almost instantly despite the vast distance. On the 6th day, Anna thought she had a solution. "We'll modify our fusion reactor to create a pulse that matches the frequency of their crystal network," she explained to Walker. "It won't fix the crystals, but it might give them enough power to reach our system, where we can help them properly." Walker nodded. "Do it." The first test was set up on one of the smaller Viridian ships. Human and alien engineers worked side by side, connecting cables between the Horizon's power systems and the alien vessel. "Power at 20%. Anna called out. 30%. 40. A massive surge of energy suddenly flashed through the system. Alarms blared as both ships shook. "Cut power," Walker ordered. When the emergency was contained, they found that the surge had nearly destroyed the alien ship's remaining systems. Back in the Horizon's meeting room, the mood was dark. "The crystal structure rejected our power," Anna explained. "It's like they operate on principles of physics we haven't even discovered yet." Walker looked at the tired faces of his crew. "Keep trying. Those people are counting on us." That night, while studying the data from the failed test, Anna noticed something odd. The energy hadn't just been rejected, it had been transformed. She sat up straight, a new idea forming. "What if we're not trying to power their system?" she whispered to herself, "but trying to help it heal itself." Anna rushed to find Walker, her eyes bright with excitement. "Captain, I think I know what we've been doing wrong, and I know how to fix it." "No, we cannot allow more changes to our ships." The voice belonged to Elder Mox, leader of the Viridian Council. His 4 eyes stared coldly at Captain Walker. "Your last attempt nearly destroyed one of our vessels." The meeting between the human leadership and the Viridian Council was not going well. After the failed test, the aliens had become even more cautious. Walker kept his voice calm. "I understand your concern, But my engineer has a new approach that she believes will work. Elder Mox's skin changed from blue-gray to a darker shade. How can we trust this? Your species has existed in space for barely a century. Ours has traveled the stars for thousands of years. Lieutenant Tom Rivera, the ship's communications specialist, stepped forward with an idea. Perhaps, he suggested, we need to understand each other better before we can work together. Walker nodded. Lieutenant Rivera will set up a cultural exchange program. Meanwhile, we'll run more tests on the horizon before trying anything on your ships. The council reluctantly agreed. The two sides had little choice. The Viridians were slowly running out of life support power. Over the next few days, Rivera arranged for small groups of humans and Viridians to meet. They shared meals after careful testing for compatibility, stories, and knowledge. The humans learned that the Viridians communicated not just with words, but with subtle color changes in their skin. The aliens were surprised by how quickly the humans picked up on these cues. Your people adapt so quickly, Trell told Walker during one exchange. In just days, your crew has learned to spot meanings in our color patterns that took other species years to understand. Walker smiled. Humans are naturally curious. We've had to adapt quickly throughout our history to survive. Dr. Reed, the medical officer, gained the aliens' trust by treating several Viridians suffering from the effects of long-term low power. His gentle approach and willingness to learn about Viridian biology impressed them. Your doctor treats us with such care, Trell told Walker. As if we were human. To him, all life deserves respect and help, Walker replied. It's a core belief for many humans. As trust grew, Walker noticed something odd. The Viridians never spoke clearly about why they had left their home system. When asked, they simply mentioned their dying star and changed the subject. One evening, Walker invited Trell to his quarters for a private meal. After they ate, he decided to ask directly. Commander Trell, my scientists say a star takes millions of years to die. You had time to plan a better evacuation. What really happened to your people? Trell's skin darkened to almost black, a color Walker had never seen before. After a long silence, the alien spoke. We are not just refugees, Captain Walker. We are the last of our kind. Trell explained that a machine race called the Collectors had attacked their homeworlds, seeking their technology. The Viridians had barely escaped. We feared telling you, Trell admitted. If you knew what followed us, you might abandon us. Walker was about to respond when an urgent message came through. Captain, we've received a transmission from Earth, Officer Park reported. 3 more ships are being sent to our location, including the military vessel UES Defender. Walker frowned. He had requested scientific support, not military. The message also contains new orders, Park continued, her voice dropping. We are to focus on studying Viridian technology for potential defensive applications. Rescue operations are secondary. Walker looked at Trell, who could tell something was wrong even without understanding the message. What will you do now, Captain? Trell asked quietly. Walker stood up straight, his decision already made. What humans do best, Commander. The right thing, even when it's difficult. 3 days later, the UES Defender arrived. The massive military ship dwarfed the horizon. Shortly after docking, Admiral Grant stepped aboard Walker's ship. He was tall, with gray hair and cold eyes. Captain Walker, the Admiral said with a tight smile. I see you've made friends with our alien visitors. Walker nodded. They're refugees in need of help, sir. Admiral Grant lowered his voice. They're also owners of technology centuries beyond ours. Technology that could protect Earth from future threats. In the engineering lab, Anna Davis and her team continued working on the interface between human and Viridian systems. Her new approach showed promise. Rather than forcing power into the alien crystals, she was designing a system to help the crystals heal themselves. The readings are stable, she told Wren, the Viridian technician. I think we're ready for another test. Walker approved the test for the next day. This time, They would try it on a medium-sized Viridian ship. As preparations continued, Security Officer Marcus Wells noticed something odd. Some of the new crew from the Defender were asking strange questions and accessing areas they shouldn't. "I don't like it," he told Walker privately. Admiral Grant's people seem more interested in the Viridian technology than helping them. Walker frowned. "Keep an eye on them, but be discreet. We need to focus on the rescue." Meanwhile, some of the younger Viridians had begun spending time with the human crew. Unlike the elders, the children were naturally curious and adaptable. "They're quick learners," Dr. Reed told Walker. "They've picked up English in just days." The test day arrived. Teams from both ships gathered to watch Anna's new interface in action. The system was connected to one of the Viridian vessels. "Starting power transfer at 10%, Anna announced. The readings looked good. The alien crystals began to glow more brightly. 20%, 30%. Suddenly, an alarm blared. Smoke poured from the connection point. "Shut it down," Walker shouted. Too late. A massive explosion rocked both ships. When the emergency teams put out the fires, they found the interface destroyed and the Viridian ship badly damaged. "What happened?" Walker demanded. Anna shook her head in confusion. "The system was working perfectly. This shouldn't have happened unless someone wanted it to fail." Wells finished for her. An investigation began immediately. While examining the damaged equipment, Wells found evidence of tampering. "Someone recalibrated the power regulators," he told Walker. "The system was set to overload from the start. The sabotage created new tension between the humans and Viridians. Some aliens believed humans had deliberately damaged their ship to study its technology." Walker called an emergency meeting with Trell. "I give you my word," Walker said firmly. "This was not authorized by me or my crew. We will find who did this." Trell's skin shifted through several colors. "Some of my people want to break off contact with humans entirely." "And then what?" Walker asked. "Your fleet will be dead in space within weeks." While they talked, Wells continued his investigation. He discovered hidden communications between certain crew members from the Defender and Earth military intelligence. "They have orders to secure Viridian technology at any cost," Wells reported to Walker in private, "even if it means letting some of the alien ships fail." The situation grew even more complicated when Trell revealed another secret. "Captain, there is something you should know," the alien commander said. "Our main ships contain technology more valuable than you realize. The ability to create controlled jumps through space. What your people would call faster-than-light travel." Walker understood immediately. This was why Earth military was so interested. "Admiral Grant wants this technology," he said. Trell nodded. "And he seems willing to sacrifice many of my people to get it." Walker stood up, his face determined. "Not if I can help it." The next morning, alarms rang throughout both human ships. Officer Park rushed to the bridge of the horizon. "Captain, long-range sensors are picking up something," she reported to Walker. "Multiple objects approaching at high speed." Walker looked at the readings. "How many?" "At least 50 ships, sir. And they're not responding to any communication attempts." Walker immediately contacted Trell. The alien commander's skin had turned pale gray, a sign of fear. "They found us," Trell said, his voice shaking. "The collectors, the ones who destroy our homeworlds." Walker called an emergency meeting with both human and Viridian leaders. Admiral Grant attended, his face grim. "So these collectors are why you fled your system," Grant said to Trell. "You led them straight to our solar system." "We had no choice," Trell replied. "And we did not expect them to track us through deep space." Walker stepped in before the argument could escalate. "How long until they arrive?" 3 days at their current speed," Officer Park answered. "And what exactly are these collectors?" Walker asked Trell. "They are ancient machines," Trell explained. "They seek advanced technology throughout the galaxy and destroy any civilization that resists. They especially want our jump drive technology." Grant stood up. My ship was sent to protect Earth. We should retreat and warn our planet. And leave the Viridians to die, Walker challenged. They're not our responsibility, Grant replied coldly. Walker faced the Admiral. The moment we found them, they became our responsibility. That's what humans do. We help those in need. After heated debate, a plan formed. The humans would help repair the Viridian fleet while preparing defenses against the approaching collectors. In engineering, Anna worked frantically with both human and Viridian teams. Her new interface was showing promise. We can adapt our fusion reactors to jumpstart their crystal network, she explained to Walker. But it will take time. Time we don't have, Walker replied. Do whatever it takes. On the second day, the first collector scout ship arrived early. It was massive and black, with strange protrusions that seemed to shift and change. It immediately attacked one of the outer Viridian vessels. They're draining its power, Trell explained, watching the readings, and downloading its data. That's what they do first. Without discussion, Walker ordered the Horizon to move to intercept. Weapons online, he commanded. Target the collector ship. The Horizon fired its main weapons. The advanced human lasers hit the collector ship, causing visible damage. Again, Walker ordered. The Horizon fired repeatedly until the collector ship broke off its attack and retreated. The Viridian Council watched in shock, their 4 eyes wide with surprise. Your weapons, Elder Mox said. They hurt the collector. Our weapons barely affected them. Human weapons are less advanced, Walker explained, but we design them differently. We focus on adaptability and raw power. This small victory bought them time, but the main collector fleet was still approaching. Anna reported a breakthrough. Captain, we can power up the main Viridian vessel, but there's a problem. What problem? Walker asked. It will require us to sacrifice the Horizon's main drive, she said. We would be stranded here. Walker didn't hesitate. Do it. As engineers began the modification, Admiral Grant confronted Walker. You're sacrificing a human ship for aliens, he said angrily. Walker stood firm. I'm saving lives. And if we don't stop these collectors here, they might reach Earth next. The work continued day and night. Finally, Anna was ready to test the new system. If it worked, the main Viridian ship would have power. Just as they prepared for the test, the sensors blared again. Captain, Park called out, her voice tense. The main collector fleet has arrived. Over 100 ships. Walker looked at the screen showing the approaching fleet. Dark, menacing ships filled the display. Begin the power transfer, he ordered, and prepare for battle. All hands to battle stations. Walker's voice rang through both human ships. The collector fleet approached rapidly, their dark forms filling the view screens. Anna's team worked frantically to complete the power transfer to the main Viridian ship. We need more time, she told Walker over the comm. We'll give you that time, Walker replied. Then he turned to Admiral Grant. Will you help us fight? For a moment, Grant hesitated. Then he nodded. The Defender will engage the enemy. Both human ships moved to protect the Viridian fleet. Behind them, engineers from both species raced to complete the power interface. The first wave of collector ships attacked. Strange energy beams lashed out, targeting the largest vessels. Return fire, Walker ordered. The Horizon's weapons blazed, striking the lead collector ship. The Defender joined in, its heavier weapons causing significant damage. Trell watched from his ship, amazed at how the humans fought. Unlike the Viridians, who relied on precise, calculated attacks, the humans were unpredictable. They changed tactics constantly, confusing the machine-like collectors. Their patterns make no sense, Trell said to Elder Mox. That is why they are effective. 3 collector ships surrounded a human supply vessel. Before they could destroy it, Walker ordered the Horizon into a dangerous close-range attack. The risky move worked, driving the collectors back, but the Horizon took heavy damage. Aboard the Defender, Admiral Grant commanded with surprising skill. His ship destroyed 2 collector vessels before a powerful blast hit their main engine. "We're losing power," Grant reported. "We can't maintain position." The Defender drifted away from the battle, damaged but not destroyed. Meanwhile, a group of Viridian children had gathered in their ship's observation room. Their 4 eyes watched the battle with intense focus. "Look how they move," one young Viridian named Kip said. "The collector ships always turn right after firing their main weapon." Another child, Lynn, added, "And see that glow at the back of their ships. It gets brighter just before they attack." The children's observations were shared with Walker. Human and Viridian fighters began targeting the vulnerability, waiting for the glow and striking just as the collectors prepared to fire. The tactic worked. Several more collector ships were disabled or destroyed. But the collectors kept coming. For every ship destroyed, 2 more took its place. The human vessels were taking heavy damage. Finally, Anna called from engineering. "Captain, the interface is ready." Walker ordered all remaining ships to protect the main Viridian vessel while the power transfer began. "It's working," Anna reported as energy flowed from the horizon into the alien crystal network. The massive Viridian ship hummed to life, its systems powering up for the first time in months. Trell contacted Walker. "We can now power up our jump drive. But there is bad news. We only have enough energy for half our fleet." The Viridian Council made a painful decision. "We will abandon the smaller ships to save the others." Walker couldn't accept this. Thousands would be left behind to die. "There must be another way," he insisted. Just then, Wells rushed onto the bridge. "Captain, I was working with the Viridian children. They noticed something about our power connection." He explained quickly. The human power system created a unique energy pattern when connected to the Viridian crystals. This pattern could potentially be amplified and shared between ships. Walker immediately contacted Anna. "Is it possible to connect multiple Viridian ships in a chain, using our vessels as power conduits?" Anna thought for a moment. "It's risky. We'd need humans to manually maintain the connections during the jump sequence, and we've never tested this kind of power distribution." "Can it work?" Walker pressed. "Maybe," Anna replied, "but it would put enormous strain on our ships. They might not survive." Walker looked at the approaching collector fleet. More ships were arriving by the minute. Soon, they would be overwhelmed. "We have no choice," he said firmly. "Begin preparations. We're saving everyone." Walker's plan was risky but simple. The human ships would form a chain between the Viridian vessels, creating power conduits that would allow all the alien ships to jump together. "We need volunteers," Walker announced to both crews. "People willing to maintain the connections during the jump sequence." Every human aboard stepped forward. Even Admiral Grant, his uniform still dirty from fighting fires on his damaged ship. "I was wrong about you, Walker," Grant admitted, "and wrong about this mission." The human engineers worked with Viridian technicians to connect the ships. They created special cables that ran between vessels, forming a web of energy pathways. Anna explained the process to the crews. Each human ship will channel power from one Viridian vessel to others. This should allow all ships to jump together. "And the risk?" Trell asked. Anna's face was serious. "The energy feedback could destroy our ships. We don't know what happens to a human vessel during a Viridian jump." Despite the danger, the humans continued working. Time was running out. The collector fleet had surrounded them completely, slowly closing in for the final attack. Walker ordered the ships into a special formation, the largest Viridian vessel at the center, with others arranged around it like a wheel. Human ships formed the spokes, connecting each outer ship to the center. "Power transfer beginning," Anna reported from engineering. The horizon hummed as energy flowed through it into the connected Viridian ships. One by one, the alien vessels lit up. Crystal systems that had been dark for months glowed with new life. The collectors sensed the power buildup. They increased their attacks, trying to break through the defensive line. "They know what we're doing," Well said, watching the enemy ships change formation. Walker nodded. Hold position. Keep the connection stable. On the Viridian command ship, Trell prepared the jump sequence. All ships reporting ready. Jump calculations complete. The collectors launched their final assault. Dozens of energy beams struck the human and Viridian ships. Damage reports flooded in. We're losing the outer defensive line, Park reported. Walker made his decision. Trell, start the jump now. A strange humming filled all the ships as the Viridian jump drive activated. Blue light spread through the power connections, flowing through the human vessels. Energy levels rising beyond predicted limits, Anna warned. Something's happening. The human technology, connected to the alien crystals, created an unexpected reaction. Instead of just channeling power, the human systems were amplifying it. The jump field is expanding, Trell reported, his 4 eyes wide with surprise. It's covering all ships, even the human vessels. As the collectors closed in for the kill, the jump sequence reached its peak. A blinding flash of blue-white light enveloped the entire fleet. When Walker could see again, stars had changed position. The jump had worked, but something else had happened too. The collectors, Park said in amazement. Look, where the collector fleet had been, there was now only debris. The jump had created a quantum shockwave that destroyed the pursuing machines. Cheers erupted throughout both fleets. Human and Viridian alike celebrated their impossible escape. Later, when things had calmed, Trell met with Walker on the Horizon's observation deck. Your ship survived the jump, Trell said. No non-Viridian vessel has ever done that before. Walker smiled. Humans are full of surprises. Indeed, Trell agreed. Your people sacrificed much to save mine. We will not forget. 2 weeks later, the combined fleet reached Earth. The arrival of the Viridians caused excitement and some fear, but Walker's reports of their journey had prepared the way. In a ceremony at Earth's space station, the human and Viridian leaders signed a historic agreement. The aliens would be given a new home in the solar system. In return, they would share their technology with humanity. This is just the beginning, Walker told Trell as they watched Earth turn below them. Together, there's no limit to what our peoples can achieve. Trell's skin shifted to a bright blue color that Walker had never seen before. Is that happiness? Walker asked. No, Trell replied. It is hope.